The sun beats down on the white stones of the forum, a heat so intense it seems to shimmer, blurring the lines of the temples and the basilicas. You can feel the warmth radiating up through your sandals, grounding you, connecting you to the very heart of the city. Rome is not just a place, it is a living, breathing entity, and you are one of its pulses. Listen to the distant hum of the crowd, the haggling of merchants, the orators practicing their speeches. It is a chaotic symphony, but to you, it sounds like opportunity. You are young, hungry. Your toga is pristinely white, marked with the purple stripe of your rank, but the fabric feels light, too light. It needs the weight of authority to settle it. Navigate through the shadows of the pillars, seeking relief from the glare. The smell of burning incense drifts from the temple of Vesta, sharp, holy, eternal. It reminds you that some fires must never go out. The fire inside you is like that, burning steadily, consuming doubt, consuming fear. You run your hand along the rough stone of a wall, feeling the history in every groove. Generations of men who built this, who fought for this. You are part of that lineage, a descendant of Venus herself. Or so the stories say. Let that belief fill you, expanding in your chest like a deep breath. You are not just a man walking in the heat. You are a force of nature, waiting to be unleashed. The city waits for you, silent, expectant, watching with 1,000 stone eyes. The wooden deck of the pirate ship sways gently beneath your feet, a rhythmic creaking that marks the passing of time in captivity. The Aegean Sea is a brilliant, blinding blue, stretching out to the edge of the world. Most men would be trembling, huddled in the hold, praying for release. But you sit on the deck, reciting poetry to your captors, laughing at their barbarity. You can feel the salt drying on your skin, tight and clean. The wind tugs at your hair, untamed, free. You look at the pirates, rough men, scarred and sun-blackened, and you do not see executioners. You see debt collectors who do not yet know the price they will pay. I will crucify you all, you tell them, with a smile so charming they think it is a joke, taking a sip of their sour wine, savoring the irony. There is a supreme calm in knowing your own value, in knowing that this is just a pause in the narrative, an intermission before the real play begins. The ropes that bind your wrists are loose, not because they are untied, but because they cannot bind your will. You sleep soundly at night, rocked by the waves, dreaming not of escape, but of the fleet you will gather, the justice you will dispense. The sea is vast, but your ambition is vaster, limitless, deep, and inevitable. The Tiber flows endlessly, washing away the day, washing away the ambition. Sleep now. Let the marble cool your skin, solid, eternal, the stone of Rome holding you up. The funeral procession moves slowly through the streets, a river of mourners flowing towards the rostra. You stand before the crowd, the mask of your Aunt Julia held high, the image of Marius, the exile, the hero. The air is thick with tension and memory. You can feel the eyes of the Senate upon you, cold, calculating, waiting for a mistake. But the people are leaning forward, hungry for a voice, hungry for a leader. You begin to speak, and your voice is not a shout, but a resonance, deep, cultivated, carrying over the murmurs. You speak of lineage, of gods and kings, weaving a tapestry that wraps around the crowd, binding them to you. You can feel the energy shift, like the wind changing direction before a storm. The dust of the street swirls around your feet. You are reviving the past to weaponize the future. Every word is a brick in the road you are building, a road that leads straight to the top. The smell of potential is stronger than the smell of death. You are not mourning the end, you are announcing the beginning. The sun catches the gold ring on your finger, a flash of light in the grey afternoon, a promise of the glory that is to come. Quiet confidence. Everything is still. The Senate is empty. The armies are halted. The world is waiting for you to rest. Dust to dust, stone to stone, put down the burden of the state and simply be. The shadows of the pillars stretch out, long and cooling, protecting you from the sun. The heavy curtains of the Pontifex Maximus's chambers block out the noise of the day. It is cool here, shadowed, smelling of old parchment and beeswax candles. You sit in the high wooden chair, the weight of the religious robes heavy on your shoulders. It is a different kind of power, subtle, archaic, woven into the calendar and the sacrifices. You run your thumb over the wax seal of a document. Debt, massive, crushing debt, hangs over you like a thunderhead. Gold borrowed to buy favor, to buy games, to buy the love of the mob. It should keep you awake, sweating in the dark. But you breathe steadily, calculating. The greater the debt, the more invested the lenders are in your success. You have made yourself too expensive to fail. A smile touches your lips, barely visible in the gloom. You are gambling with the highest stakes betting your life against the world, and the thrill is electric. It hums in your fingertips, quiet, dangerous, alive. You stand up and walk to the window, peering out at the city that owns you and that you will one day own. The tiles of the roofs stretch out like a mosaic, intricate, chaotic, waiting for a master hand to arrange them. You are that hand, steady, unshakable, ready to play the game. The eagles are at rest, the legions are sleeping. You are safe within the camp. Drift away. Close your eyes and see the map, not of war, but of peace, stretching from sea to shining sea. Close your eyes and see the map, not of war, but of peace, stretching from sea to shining sea. Spain is a rugged land, baked earth and jagged mountains, far from the luxuries of Rome. You sit by the campfire, the flames crackling and spitting, casting long, dancing shadows against the rocks. In your hand, a book, the history of Alexander. You read of conquests, of worlds won before the age of 30, and a tear, hot and sudden, tracks through the dust on your cheek. He had done so much, and you, middle-aged, distinct, have done so little. The night air is cold, biting. It wakes you up. It sharpens the edge of your hunger. You close the book with a snap, a sound like a gavel falling. No more waiting, no more games. The time for administration is over. The time for glory is now. You look at the soldiers sleeping around the fire, wrapped in their cloaks, trusting, loyal. They are your tools, your instruments. With them, you will carve your name into the stone of history so deep that no wind will ever erode it. You stand up, tossing a log onto the fire. The sparks fly up towards the stars, joining the constellations. You watch them rise, determining that you will rise with them, burning bright, consuming everything in your path. Close your eyes and see the map, not of war, but of peace, stretching from sea to shining sea. The eagles are at rest, the legions are sleeping. You are safe within the camp. Drift away. Close your eyes and see the map, not of war, but of peace, stretching from sea to shining sea. The Senate floor is a polished sea of marble, reflecting the white togas of the most powerful men in the world. Cicero is speaking, his voice rising and falling in perfect cadence, weaving webs of logic and law. You listen, leaning back, your face a mask of polite interest, but underneath, You are counting votes, counting allies, counting the seconds until you can strike. The air is stuffy, perfumed oils, and the sweat of nervous men. You catch the eye of Crassus, richer than God. You catch the eye of Pompey, the great general, the triumvirate, the three-headed monster, forged in secret, binding the state with invisible chains. It feels like holding a lightning bolt in your bare hand, dangerous, crackling, barely contained. You smooth the fold of your toga, deliberate, calm. You are the glue, the charm, the political genius that makes the impossible alliance work. Let them talk, let them speechify. You are rewriting the rules of the game while they are still reading the instructions. The cool marble of the bench presses against your back, solid, real. You are anchored. You are ready. The forged iron is cooling, hardening into steel, unbreakable, sharp, ready for the wars to come. Dust to dust, stone to stone, put down the burden of the state and simply be. Everything is still. The Senate is empty. The armies are halted. The world is waiting for you to rest. Listen to the wind in the olive trees, whispering secrets of the Republic. Quiet, ancient. The eagles are at rest. The legions are sleeping. You are safe within the camp. Drift away. The mist hangs low over the forest floor. Thick, white, ghostly, muffling the sound of thousands of hobnailed sandals marching in unison. The smell of pine and damp earth is overwhelming, raw and wild, so different from the stone smells of Rome. You ride at the head of the column, high on your horse, wrapped in a thick red cloak against the chill. The trees tower over you, ancient sentinels of a land that does not want to be tamed, but you are the tamer. You can feel the eyes of the legions on your back, the 10th, your favorites. They look to you not just for orders, but for survival. You do not slouch. You do not shiver. You are the statue they pray to, the standard they follow. The rhythm of the march is hypnotic. Left, right, left, right. The heartbeat of the army, crunching over dead leaves and twigs. You are miles from civilization, deep in the unknown, and you have never felt more at home. The map in your mind is unrolling, revealing rivers and tribes and battlefields. This is where you make your fortune. This is where you build your legend. 1 mile, one tribe, one victory at a time. Dust to dust, stone to stone. Put down the burden of the state and simply be. Close your eyes and see the map, not of war, but of peace, stretching from sea to shining sea. The eagles are at rest, the legions are sleeping. You are safe within the camp. Drift away. Mud, thick, cloying, grey mud, covering everything. Watching the men dig, the rhythm of the shovels hitting the earth. Chink, squelch, chink, squelch. You are not in a tent. You are out there with them, walking the line, pointing, encouraging. Here, deeper, here, stronger stakes there. You take a shovel yourself, the handle rough wood against your palm, and throw a pile of dirt onto the rampart. The men cheer, a rough, throaty sound. They love you because you bleed with them, you sweat with them. You are not a distant aristocrat. You are the wolf of Gaul, part of the pack. The rain drizzles down, cold and relentless, running off the rim of your helmet, tasting of iron and soil. You wipe your face with a muddy hand, leaving a streak of war paint. The fortification is rising, a ring of wood and earth strangling the enemy. It is a masterpiece of engineering, brutal, efficient, undeniable. You look at the wall and you see the discipline of Rome manifest in physical form. Order imposed on chaos. Civilization imposed on the wild. You lean on the shovel, breathing hard, feeling the good ache in your muscles. Alive, close your eyes and see the map, not of war, but of peace, stretching from sea to shining sea, dust to dust, stone to stone. Put down the burden of the state and simply be. Close your eyes and see the map, not of war, but of peace, stretching from sea to shining sea. The eagles are at rest, the legions are sleeping. You are safe within the camp. Drift away. The Gallic chieftains stand before you, tall, broad-shouldered, with mustaches that droop and stalks of gold around their necks. They smell of wet wool and wood smoke. The tent is warm, lit by oil lamps that cast long, flickering shadows. You sit, unmoving, the scribe scratching away at a wax tablet in the corner. Scritch, scratch, recording history. You offer them wine, civil, polite, but your eyes are hard as flint, negotiating not with words, but with the silent threat of the legions waiting outside. You can hear the distant clatter of armor, a constant reminder of the iron fist inside the velvet glove. You speak their language, or enough of it to make them blink, respecting their courage while dissecting their alliances, dividing and conquering with a smile. You pick up a goblet, the metal cool in your fingers, swirling the dark liquid, watching them break one by one, watching the defiance drain out, replaced by the realization of the inevitable. Rome is not an enemy to be fought, it is a tide to be endured, and you are the wave, overwhelming, crushing, purifying. Drink deep. The taste of victory is sweet on the tongue. The shadows of the pillars stretch out, long and cooling, protecting you from the sun. The eagles are at rest. The legions are sleeping. You are safe within the camp. Drift away. Listen to the wind in the olive trees, whispering secrets of the Republic, quiet, ancient, dust to dust, stone to stone. Put down the burden of the state and simply be. Alicia. The name hangs in the air like smoke, a double ring of fortifications, a donut of death. You stand on the high tower, looking out at the vast sea of Gallic warriors surrounding you, and the trapped army inside. You are besieged and besieging, a tactical impossibility, a nightmare for any other general. But for you, it is a puzzle, intricate, deadly, beautiful. The wind whips your red cloak, snapping it like a whip. You can see the torches moving in the twilight, thousands of fireflies in the valley, the sounds of the enemy chanting, beating swords on shields, a low, menacing rumble. It should be terrifying, but you feel a strange, icy calm, a clarity that is almost divine. You know exactly where the weak point is. You know exactly when they will strike. You move pieces on the board of your mind. Caesar here, Labienus there, the cavalry in reserve, the mathematical perfection of war. You grip the wooden railing, feeling the splinters. You are the conductor of this orchestra of violence, waiting for the downbeat, waiting to unleash hell. The anticipation creates a tightness in your chest, a focused energy, absolute presence. Silence falls over the 7 hills, a blanket of peace, covering the forum, covering you. Everything is still. The Senate is empty. The armies are halted. The world is waiting for you to rest. Everything is still. The Senate is empty. The armies are halted. The world is waiting for you to rest. Everything is still. The Senate is empty. The armies are halted. The world is waiting for you to rest. The battle is chaos, noise, blood, dust. But then, the silence after. The sun is setting red over the hills, matching the stained grass. Vercingetorix rides out, calm, defeated, noble. He circles you once, pauses, and throws his armor at your feet. The clang of the metal hitting the ground echoes, a final period at the end of a long sentence. and you see a mirror. Ambition, strength, leadership failed. You do not gloat. You sit straight on your camp stool, face like stone, accepting the surrender as if it were ordained by the gods. The air smell of victory, which is really the smell of sweat and iron and relief. The legions are cheering, Imperator, Imperator. The sound rolling over the hills like thunder. It vibrates in your bones. It feeds the wolf inside. You have conquered Gaul. You have added a jewel to the crown of Rome. You have done what no one else could do. You close your eyes for a second, letting the roar wash over you, soaking it in. You are tired, bone tired, but it is the exhaustion of a god who has finished creating a world. Silence falls over the 7 hills, a blanket of peace, covering the forum, covering you. Dust to dust, stone to stone. Put down the burden of the state and simply be. The shadows of the pillars stretch out, long and cooling, protecting you from the sun. Silence falls over the 7 hills, a blanket of peace, covering the forum, covering you, writing the commentaries. The quill scratches on the parchment, sharp, precise. Gallia est omnis divisa in partes tres. You are shaping the narrative, controlling how history will remember this. The tent is quiet, just the sound of the pen and the crackle of the lamp. You simplify, you clarify, you turn the messy, bloody, muddy reality into clean, elegant Latin prose. You are not just fighting the war, you are curating it, sending dispatches back to Rome to be read in the forum, to be cheered by the mob, constantly reminding them of who you are, of what you are doing for them. The ink is dark, permanent, staining your fingers. Words are weapons too, sharper than gladiuses, enduring longer than shields. You pause, dipping the pen, thinking of the next sentence, sculpting your own statue in text. The night is quiet outside. The camp, sleeping the sleep of the victorious. You are awake, alone with your words, alone with your legacy, ensuring that when the body turns to dust, the name remains. Caesar. The ink dries, black on white, indestructible. The Tiber flows endlessly, washing away the day, washing away the ambition. Sleep now. The shadows of the pillars stretch out, long and cooling, protecting you from the sun. The eagles are at rest. The legions are sleeping. You are safe within the camp. Drift away. Dust to dust, stone to stone. Put down the burden of the state and simply be. The shadows of the pillars stretch out, long and cooling, protecting you from the sun. The river Rubicon is small, unimpressive, a shallow stream bubbling over grey stones, muddy banks lined with reeds. It looks like nothing, yet it is the edge of the world. On this side, a general; on the other side, an enemy of the state. You stand on the bank, alone, wrapped in your cloak against the winter mist. The water rushing by makes a soft, gurgling sound, indifferent to the history it represents. You look at your officers, waiting. You look at the soldiers, waiting. The silence stretches, taut as a bowstring. You can feel the weight of the Republic pressing down on your shoulders. Law, tradition, order, and you are about to shatter it all. A fish jumps in the water, a splash, ripples spreading out. Alea jacta est. The die is cast. You speak it softly, almost to yourself, acknowledging the gamble, acknowledging the fall of the dice. You step into the water, icy cold, soaking your boots. The current pulls at your legs, weak, easily overcome. You stride across, and the world changes. The splash of your boots is the sound of an era ending. You reach the other bank, and you do not look back. Forward, only forward. The eagles are at rest. The legions are sleeping. You are safe within the camp. Drift away. The eagles are at rest. The legions are sleeping. You are safe within the camp. Drift away. Let the marble cool your skin, solid, eternal. The stone of Rome holding you up. The eagles are at rest. The legions are sleeping. You are safe within the camp. Drift away. The march is fast, lightning fast. You move like a ghost through Italy, taking cities with a smile, with a pardon, with a handshake. You are not conquering. You are arriving. The gates of Ariminum, Ancona, Corfinium swing open. Panic in Rome, Pompey fleeing, the Senate scattering like rats. You walk through the empty Senate house, the benches silent, abandoned in haste. It smells of fear and old dust. You run your hand along the wood of the speaker's platform. Emptiness. They left you the city. They left you the heart of the empire. It feels hollow and yet invigorating. You sit in the consul's chair, testing the weight, looking out at the empty room. You are master here now, by default, by daring, by speed. The silence of the city is eerie, a holding of breath. waiting to see if you are a monster or a savior. You will be both. You stand up, your footsteps echoing loud on the marble floor, decisive, claiming the space, claiming the moment. The keys to the world are in your hand, heavy, cold, metal. Listen to the wind in the olive trees, whispering secrets of the Republic, quiet, ancient. The Tiber flows endlessly, washing away the day, washing away the ambition. Sleep now. Let the marble cool your skin, solid, eternal. The stone of Rome holding you up. Listen to the wind in the olive trees, whispering secrets of the Republic, quiet, ancient. Let the marble cool your skin, solid, eternal. The stone of Rome holding you up, clemency. It is a new weapon, sharper than the sword. You walk among the captured senators, men who called for your head weeks ago, now trembling, expecting the executioner. Instead, you offer them freedom, you offer them forgiveness, you offer them their lives back. You watch the confusion in their eyes, the disbelief. It unbalances them, it disarms them. You are not Sulla, you are not Marius, you are Caesar. And Caesar is generous. Caesar is above petty revenge. You feel a swell of pride, not at their gratitude, but at your own superiority. To kill an enemy is easy. To forgive him is godlike. It places you so far above them that they can never reach you. You clasp their hands, looking them in the eye, feeling their sweaty palms, their shaking nerves. You are the rock, the calm center, the benevolent father, sending them home to spread the word of your mercy. It is a master stroke. The air in the tent feels lighter, cleaner. You have won without spilling blood, the best kind of victory. You pour a cup of wine, raising it to the empty room, to mercy, and you drink. Dust to dust, stone to stone. Put down the burden of the state and simply be. Silence falls over the 7 hills, a blanket of peace, covering the forum, covering you. The Tiber flows endlessly, washing away the day, washing away the ambition. Sleep now. The shadows of the pillars stretch out, long and cooling, protecting you from the sun. Listen to the wind in the olive trees, whispering secrets of the Republic, quiet, ancient. War in Spain again. Ilerda, a chess match against Pompey's lieutenants, maneuvering, dodging, cutting off water, starving, waiting. It is a cerebral war, a war of position. You ride the lines, pointing, directing the digging of ditches, the diversion of rivers, changing the landscape to suit your needs, nature itself bending to your will. The rain falls, turning the plains to marsh. You sit on your horse, water dripping from your nose, watching the enemy camp across the swollen river. They are trapped, panic setting in. You can feel their desperation radiating across the water, hunger gnawing at them, thirst drying them out. You do not attack, you wait. Time is your ally. Patience is your sword. You listen to the sound of the river rushing, powerful, unstoppable, just like you. Finally, they surrender, marching out without weapons, heads bowed. You watch them, an army dissolved by geometry and thirst. You nod once, satisfied. The puzzle is solved. The pieces are removed. You turn your horse, ready for the next move. Always the next move. The shadows of the pillars stretch out, long and cooling, protecting you from the sun. The Tiber flows endlessly, washing away the day, washing away the ambition. Sleep now. The shadows of the pillars stretch out, long and cooling, protecting you from the sun. Close your eyes and see the map, not of war, but of peace, stretching from sea to shining sea. The shadows of the pillars stretch out, long and cooling, protecting you from the sun. Let the marble cool your skin, solid, eternal. The stone of Rome holding you up. The Adriatic Sea is rough, grey waves crowned with white foam, tossing the small boat like a toy. You are crossing in secret, disguised, seeking to join your legions. The sailors are terrified, rowing against the gale, praying to the gods. Turn back, they scream. We will drown. You pull back your hood, revealing your face, calm, illuminated by a flash of lightning. Fear not, you say, your voice cutting through the wind. You carry Caesar and his fortune. The wind howls, ripping at your cloak, salt spray stinging your eyes. But you feel invulnerable. Destiny does not drown in a fishing boat. Fate has bigger plans than this. You hold the gunwale, feeling the power of the storm and feeling a matching power inside you, shouting back at the thunder, daring the sea to take you. It is a moment of pure, wild hubris, exhilarating, electrical, connecting you to the primal forces of the world. You are not just a man. You are an event, inevitable. The boat pitches, rolls, and sails on, carried by the wind of your belief. Listen to the wind in the olive trees, whispering secrets of the Republic, quiet, ancient. The shadows of the pillars stretch out, long and cooling, protecting you from the sun. Let the marble cool your skin, solid, eternal, the stone of Rome holding you up. The Tiber flows endlessly, washing away the day, washing away the ambition. Sleep now, dust to dust, stone to stone. Put down the burden of the state and simply be Durhakyam, a failure, a defeat. You stand on the ridge, looking at the retreat, the confusion, the men running. It burns, a hot coal in your gut, shame, anger. You see Pompey's army holding the line, missing the chance to crush you. The war could have ended today if the enemy had a general who knew how to win. You say it loud, spitting the words out, turning the defeat into a critique, reframing the narrative instantly. You rally the men, not with comfort, but with challenge, shaming them back into courage, pulling them together with the force of your personality. You walk among them, looking at the wounds, looking at the fear, absorbing it, transforming it into resolve. We retreat to fight another day. We move to the cornfields of Thessaly. The march begins again, dusty, silent, grim, but organized. You ride at the back, the shepherd guarding the flock, watching the horizon, planning the revenge. The setback is just a compressed spring, storing energy, ready to snap back harder. You grit your teeth, tasting the dust, swearing this will not happen again. Pharsalus awaits. The eagles are at rest, the legions are sleeping. You are safe within the camp. Drift away. Silence falls over the 7 hills, a blanket of peace, covering the forum, covering you. Silence falls over the 7 hills, a blanket of peace, covering the forum, covering you. Let the marble cool your skin, solid, eternal, the stone of Rome holding you up, dust to dust, stone to stone. Put down the burden of the state and simply be Pharsalus. The heat of the Greek summer is oppressive. Dust hanging in the air, golden, thick. 2 armies facing each other. The fate of the world hanging on the balance of the morning. You look across the plain. Pompey has more men, more cavalry, more senators. You have veterans, tough, lean, scarred men who have marched with you for 10 years. You look at their faces, sun-baked leather, eyes that have seen everything. They are calm, eating their bread, sharpening their swords, waiting for the nod. You give the order. The line advances, silent at first, then the trot, then the run, the roar rising, a wave of steel crashing into the beach. You see the ambush work, the hidden cohort striking the cavalry, the surprise, the collapse, Pompey fleeing, riding away from his army. It is over in an afternoon. The dust settles, revealing the wreckage of the Republic. You walk the field, seeing the dead. They would have it so, you whisper, sadness mixing with triumph. It was necessary. It was inevitable. You are the last man standing. The sun dips below the mountains, turning the sky purple, the color of kings. Dust to dust, stone to stone. Put down the burden of the state and simply be. Close your eyes and see the map, not of war, but of peace, stretching from sea to shining sea. The eagles are at rest, the legions are sleeping. You are safe within the camp. Drift away. Listen to the wind in the olive trees, whispering secrets of the Republic. Quiet, ancient Egypt. The smell of the Nile. Ancient, pungent, fertile, exotic spices, perfumes, decay. You are in the palace of Alexandria, surrounded by enemies, trapped again, but this time in luxury. The floors are lapis and gold. The pillars are painted with gods who have animal heads. It is a strange, alien world, and then the rug is unrolled. Cleopatra, young, brilliant, dangerous, rising from the carpet like a vision. Her voice is music, her mind is a razor. You talk late into the night, strategy, history, stars. Watching the Nile flow by the balcony, moon on the water. She is not just a queen, she is an equal, a partner. The attraction is political and physical and intellectual, a heady mix. You feel young again, energized by her ambition, which matches your own. The siege outside the palace is a distant noise, intimate whispers in the dark, plotting dynasties, plotting empires. The air is heavy with jasmine and lotus, intoxicating. You are the master of Rome. She is the mistress of Egypt. Together, you are everything. Listen to the wind in the olive trees, whispering secrets of the Republic, quiet, ancient. Silence falls over the 7 hills, a blanket of peace, covering the forum, covering you. The Tiber flows endlessly, washing away the day, washing away the ambition. Sleep now. The eagles are at rest. The legions are sleeping. You are safe within the camp. Drift away. The Tiber flows endlessly, washing away the day, washing away the ambition. Sleep now. Let the marble cool your skin, solid, eternal. The stone of Rome, holding you up. The Nile cruise, floating down the great river on a golden barge, sheltered by silk awnings. Slaves fanning you with ostrich feathers. The water laps gently against the hull, hypnotic, sleepy. You drift past pyramids that were ancient before Rome was a village. Temples colossal and silent, standing in the desert. It gives you perspective. Time is long. Empires rise and fall. You are just a moment in the sun. But what a moment. You hold Cleopatra's hand, watching the ibis fly over the papyrus reeds. The peace is profound, a vacation from war, a vacation from the Senate. Here you are a god, worshipped, unquestioned. It is seductive, this absolute power, smelling of incense and baked clay, letting the current carry you deeper into the dream of kingship. You close your eyes, feeling the heat, the sway of the boat, the silence of the desert, breathing it in, letting it change you, hardening the resolve to rule alone. Back in Rome, they are shouting. Here, they are kneeling. The shadows of the pillars stretch out, long and cooling, protecting you from the sun. Dust to dust, stone to stone. Put down the burden of the state and simply be. Dust to dust, stone to stone. Put down the burden of the state and simply be. Listen to the wind in the olive trees, whispering secrets of the republic, quiet, ancient. The eagles are at rest, the legions are sleeping. You are safe within the camp. Drift away. Silence falls over the 7 hills, a blanket of peace, covering the forum, covering you. Veni, Vidi, Vici. I came, I saw, I conquered. Selah, a skirmish really, barely a war. Farnes is defeated in 4 hours. You sit in the tent, dictating the letter. Short, punchy, arrogant. 3 words to summarize a campaign. It is branding, pure and simple. You chuckle as the scribe writes it down, knowing how it will play in the forum, how the mob will chant it, the speed of it, the efficiency. It creates an aura of invincibility. You are not just a general, you are a force of nature. Strike, win, move on. The dust of Pontus is still on your sandals. You wipe it off. Next problem, next province. The world is small when you move this fast. The map is shrinking. You look at the globe chaos. Snap your fingers. Done. Simple. The confidence radiates off you like heat. You are untouchable. Everything is still. The Senate is empty. The armies are halted. The world is waiting for you to rest. The shadows of the pillars stretch out, long and cooling, protecting you from the sun. The shadows of the pillars stretch out, long and cooling, protecting you from the sun. The eagles are at rest. The legions are sleeping. You are safe within the camp. Drift away. Close your eyes and see the map, not of war, but of peace, stretching from sea to shining sea. Let the marble cool your skin, solid, eternal. The stone of Rome holding you up, the triumphs, 4 days of glory. Rome transformed into a festival. Elephants, giraffes, gold, prisoners, floats depicting the Rhine, the Nile, the Pontus. You ride in the chariot, face painted red like Jupiter, a slave whispering in your ear, Memento Mori. Remember, you are mortal, but it is hard to believe. The roar of the crowd is deafening, a physical wall of sound. Caesar, Caesar, flowers raining down, covering the streets in petals. The smell of sacrifice, the smell of sweat, the smell of unwashed millions cheering your name. You wave, stiff, majestic, wearing the purple toga, the laurel wreath on your brow. It is the summit, the peak of the mountain. The air is thin here, rare, intoxicating. You look down at the senators walking behind your chariot, humbled, defeated. You have won the game, totally, completely. The noise washes over you, blinding, deafening, perfect. You are Rome, and Rome is you. Dust to dust, stone to stone, put down the burden of the state and simply be. The eagles are at rest, the legions are sleeping. You are safe within the camp. Drift away. Everything is still. The Senate is empty. The armies are halted. The world is waiting for you to rest. The eagles are at rest. The legions are sleeping. You are safe within the camp. Drift away. Dust to dust. Stone to stone. Put down the burden of the state and simply be. Listen to the wind in the olive trees, whispering secrets of the Republic. Quiet, ancient. Close your eyes and see the map, not of war, but of peace, stretching from sea to shining sea. Dictator perpetuo. Dictator for life. The title is etched in stone. The Senate votes you honors, statues, temples, a month named after you, July. You sit in the golden chair, the cruel chair, at the front of the Senate, receiving them. They bow, they flatter, they tremble. You busy yourself with plans, reforming the calendar, 365 days, solar, rational, fixing time itself, draining the marshes, building libraries, planning a war in Parthia. The mind never stops, moving pieces, building structure. Absolute authority acts like a drug, efficient, fast. No more debates, no more delays, just your will becoming law. You sign a decree, quiet scratch of the pen, and the world changes. It is lonely, this height. The air is cold, old friends are distant or dead. New friends are sycophants. But the work keeps you warm. You are the architect of the future, laying foundations that will last for millennia. You rub your temples, tired, but the engine keeps running, driving, driving, driving. Listen to the wind in the olive trees, whispering secrets of the Republic. Quiet, ancient, everything is still. The Senate is empty. The armies are halted. The world is waiting for you to rest. Dust to dust, stone to stone. Put down the burden of the state and simply be. Silence falls over the 7 hills, a blanket of peace, covering the forum, covering you. The eagles are at rest, the legions are sleeping. You are safe within the camp. Drift away. Everything is still. The Senate is empty. The armies are halted. The world is waiting for you to rest. The nightmares. Calpurnia wakes up screaming, dreaming of a pediment collapsing, of you holding her, bleeding. The wind howls outside the dormers, rattling the shutters, violent, unsettled. The soothsayer in the street, Spurina. Beware the Ides of March, eyes milky, voice cracking. You brush it off. Superstition is for the weak, fear is for the mortal. But the air feels heavy today, oppressive, like a storm that won't break. You sit on the edge of the bed, rubbing your face, feeling the lines of age. The headache is back, the dizziness. You should stay home, rest. The Senate can wait. But pride pulls you up. To stay home is to show fear. To stay home is to yield to bad dreams. You are Caesar. You go where you please. You stand up, putting on the heavy toga, arranging the folds. The purple stripe looks dark in the dim light, almost black. You take a deep breath, pushing the unease down into the pit of your stomach, putting on the mask of invulnerability, walking out into the grey morning. up. Let the marble cool your skin. Solid, eternal. The stone of Rome holding you up. Silence falls over the 7 hills. A blanket of peace. Covering the forum. Covering you. The eagles are at rest. The legions are sleeping. You are safe within the camp. Drift away. The walk to the theater of Pompey. The crowd presses in, handing petitions, shouting requests. Read this, Caesar. Justice, Caesar. A Greek teacher tries to hand you a scroll. Urgent, desperate. Read this one alone, he whispers. You take it, but your hands are full. Other papers, other pleas. You pass it to a slave. Later, the noise is overwhelming, conflicting, chaotic. You see the statues of the city watching you. Stone faces, indifferent. The sky is overcast, diffuse light, shadowless. You feel a strangeness in your limbs, a heaviness. Walking through water, the litter sways. You look at the faces in the crowd, some adoring, some hateful, most just hungry. You are the provider of bread, the provider of circuses. They love the hand that feeds, but for how long? You reach the steps of the theater. The senators are waiting, standing in groups, whispering. They stop when they see you, turning, smiling, false smiles, predatory smiles. You step down, adjusting your wreath, walking into the trap. Close your eyes and see the map, not of war, but of peace, stretching from sea to shining sea. Silence falls over the 7 hills, a blanket of peace, covering the forum, covering you. The Tiber flows endlessly, washing away the day, washing away the ambition. Sleep now. Let the marble cool your skin. Solid, eternal, the stone of Rome holding you up. Dust to dust, stone to stone. Put down the burden of the state and simply be. Let the marble cool your skin. Solid, eternal, the stone of Rome holding you up. The Senate House is cool, dimly lit. The smell of incense covers the smell of fear. You walk to your golden chair, sitting down, expecting the usual boring speeches. Julius approaches, asking for a pardon for his brother, gripping your toga, pulling it down, exposing your neck. Why this violence? You ask, annoyed, confused. Then the flash of steel. Casca strikes. A clumsy blow to the shoulder. The shock is cold, sharp, confusing. You grab his arm, stabbing it with your stylus. Villain Casca, what are you doing? Then they descend, a pack of wolves, knives everywhere. glistening red, the sound of tearing fabric, grunt of effort, the smell of copper. You fight, twisting, turning, looking for help, looking for Anthony, looking for friends. But there are no friends here, only knives. The world narrows down into a circle of steel, flashes of light, pain, breath, struggle. It is savage, chaotic, silent, except for the shuffling of feet and the wet sounds of the blades. Close your eyes and see the map, not of war, but of peace, stretching from sea to shining sea. The shadows of the pillars stretch out, long and cooling, protecting you from the sun. The Tiber flows endlessly, washing away the day, washing away the ambition. Sleep now. Listen to the wind in the olive trees, whispering secrets of the Republic. Quiet, ancient, the Tiber flows endlessly, washing away the day, washing away the ambition. Sleep now. Silence falls over the 7 hills, a blanket of peace, covering the forum, covering you, Brutus. You see him pushing through the circle, face pale, eyes wide, terrified, determined. You stop fighting. The shock hits you harder than the knives. Not him. Not the son of your mistress. Not the boy you forgave. Not the boy you loved. Et tu, brute. You then fall silent. There are no words for this betrayal. The fight drains out of you. If Brutus wills it, then it must be the end. The heart breaks before the body dies. You pull your toga over your head, a final act of dignity, hiding your face, hiding the pain, hiding the death. You do not want them to see you die. You want to remain a statue in their minds. You stagger, legs failing, crumbling. The darkness under the toga is complete. Private, quiet. You feel the cold floor against your cheek, the stone of Rome embracing you one last time. The shouting seems distant now, muffled by the wool. Peace. Finally, silence falls over the 7 hills, a blanket of peace, covering the forum, covering you. Listen to the wind in the olive trees, whispering secrets of the Republic. Quiet, ancient. Everything is still. The Senate is empty. The armies are halted. The world is waiting for you to rest. Close your eyes and see the map. Not of war, but of peace, stretching from sea to shining sea. Listen to the wind in the olive trees, whispering secrets of the Republic. Quiet, ancient. The shadows of the pillars stretch out, long and cooling, protecting you from the sun. The darkness is spreading, warm, velvet, expansive. The pain is receding, turning into a dull throb, then a hum, then nothing. You are floating, drifting away from the Senate floor, drifting away from the blood, drifting away from Rome. The noise of the city fades into a gentle murmur, like the sea at night. You see faces passing in the dark. Pompey, Julia, Crassus, Cato, nodding, waiting. The reunion of the ghosts. You look back at the bundle of purple cloth on the floor, wet with red. It looks so small, so insignificant. Is that Caesar? No, that is just the husk. You are expanding, rising, becoming the myth, becoming the comet that will streak across the sky. The ambition that drove you, the fire that burned you. It is released now, exploding outwards into history. You are free of the debt, free of the epilepsy, free of the enemies, free of the weight of the world. The silence is beautiful, absolute, eternal. Rest now, Gaius. The play is finished. The applause is beginning. Close your eyes and see the map, not of war, but of peace, stretching from sea to shining sea. Close your eyes and see the map, not of war, but of peace, stretching from sea to shining sea. Listen to the wind in the olive trees, whispering secrets of the Republic, quiet, ancient. Close your eyes and see the map, not of war, but of peace, stretching from sea to shining sea. The shadows of the pillars stretch out, long and cooling, protecting you from the sun. Silence in the forum. The body lies alone, waiting, but the spirit is airborne. The comet appears in the sky. The Sidus Julium, burning bright over the games. The people look up, awe-struck. He is a god, they whisper. He has joined the stars, and you have. You are looking down on the empire you built, seeing the roads stretching out like veins, seeing the laws taking root, seeing the language spreading. You are in the stone of the buildings. You are in the coin in the soldier's purse. You are in the calendar on the wall. You are in the title Kaiser, Tsar, echoing down the centuries. You achieved it. Immortality. The name will never die. The story will never end. It will be told in whispers, in shouts, in theaters, in schools, for 1,000 years. You rest in the firmament, a fixed star, guiding the destiny of the world, cold, bright, eternal. The ambition is satisfied. The rise is complete. stillness, peace, forever. Listen to the wind in the olive trees, whispering secrets of the Republic, quiet, ancient, dust to dust, stone to stone. Put down the burden of the state and simply be. Let the marble cool your skin, solid, eternal, the stone of Rome holding you up. Let the marble cool your skin, solid, eternal, the stone of Rome holding you up. Everything is still. The Senate is empty. The armies are halted. The world is waiting for you to rest. Everything is still. The Senate is empty. The armies are halted. The world is waiting for you to rest.